rehabilitated, and real entertaining. This is the Carl Jackson Podcast.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Carl Jackson Show podcast, your daily dose of objective truth in a world of confusion and lies. Guys, it is official. The FBI needs to be totally dismantled. There is no negotiation. There is no other way to do this. Any Republican candidate running for the presidency, in my opinion, needs to come out and state that they would dismantle the FBI. Otherwise, they don't deserve to be on the stage. We know that former President Trump intends to do this. Anyone else, if they do not say that they will not dismantle the FBI, they should not be on the stage. There's so many things that I would like to get into you that are a little more lighthearted today. But guys, I just can't do it. The most pressing issue that we have right now is the absolute authoritarian dictatorship-like behavior of the FBI. They believe they are a fourth branch of the federal government, and they will totally tear down this system. I'm going to bring to you 3 examples today of why the FBI needs to be dismantled and exactly how we can do it. There can be no other excuses. There is no other way to do this. The FBI must be dismantled. Stay tuned for some quick program messaging, and we will be right back. All right, thank you for tuning in to the Carl Jackson Show podcast. Again, please, guys, subscribe to the podcast wherever you go to get your podcast. Apple, Google, Spotify. Please subscribe on YouTube and Rumble, The Carl Jackson Show. We're on social media as well. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, True Social, Getter, at The Carl Jackson Show is where you can find us. All right, guys, I want to dive right into the topic of today. There's 3 headlines that should scare the crap out of you. And I don't care if you're a Democrat or if you're a Republican. If the rule of law doesn't exist, and crooked cops rule the day, the United States of America is over as we know it. It is finished, done, finito. There's 3 headlines that I want to talk to you about, and I want to build my case that the FBI needs to be totally dismantled. There's no other way to do it. Even if Democrats disagree with this notion, so what? That is on them. Sadly, Democrats, I believe, have a symbiotic, or the Democrat Party, I should say, has a symbiotic relationship with the FBI that have proven to be totally corrupted and totally not worth reforming, in my opinion. And so we've got to deal with the stories at hand. I've got some videos lined up for you, or Gabe has some videos lined up for you. We will play those videos, but let me just tell you what's at hand. Let me give you the headlines. This from Just the News. Alarm grows over whistleblower claims that the FBI scooped up Americans' bank records without subpoena. So we'll get into that. For another headline from the Daily Wire, former FBI official tells House Republicans Bureau denied agents a J6 riot footage to protect assets. Informants present at the U.S. Capitol. You guys may remember that Christopher Wray, the current FBI director, denied that there were any UCs at the Capitol on J6. Well, he lied. And also, we have this story, which will be the first video that we will play for you in just a second here, and that is FBI agents show up to a mother's home. A mother's home of a pro-life activist looking for her. No doubt it was an intimidation ploy. They tried to send women so they didn't appear as intimidating, in my opinion. But I'm going to tell you what you need to do if this happens to you. And frankly, I don't care if it's the FBI or your local sheriff's department. I'm going to tell you what you need to do when situations like this occur. All right. So without any further ado, Gabe, let's go ahead and roll the first video. This is these are FBI agents that are arriving at the mother's home. Let me just read it from the tip sheet here. 2 female FBI agents descended upon the doorstep of Tracy Ketch. All right. The mother of progressive pro-life activist Elise Ketch. This occurred last month. In a conversation, the agents, Ashley Roberts and Kathleen Brown, asked Tracy if they could talk to Elise. And they said, and we quote, "We just need to speak with Elise regarding some information that was sent to us," close quote. Roberts told Tracy the agents asked for Elise's address or phone number after learning she no longer lives at her mother's house. She's not in any trouble, Roberts said, adding that she couldn't tell Tracy what their visit was about, but that she shouldn't worry because, quote unquote, it's nothing. Well, that's totally BS. So I want to dive into this, but let's go ahead and watch the video. And I want you to hear the video for yourself. And then I'm going to tell you what you need to do in the event that this happens to you. And Democrats may not have to worry about this with today's FBI. But if you happen to be someone that loves America, you love the Constitution, you love your Second Amendment rights, you believe in your First Amendment rights as well, then the FBI, they're so freaking corrupt, they may come knocking on your door. This is what we're learning with the FBI whistleblowers that have been on the Hill, which we'll show you a video of those in just or that debacle in just a sec. But here's the first video. These are two female FBI agents showing up at the door of Tracy Ketch, or Elise's Tracy Ketch, Elise Ketch's mother. Let's roll the tape, Gabe.
Hi, we're looking for Elise.
I'm sorry, she's not here. Can I ask what this is in regards to?
Yeah, sure. My name's Ashley Roberts, and this is Kathleen Brown. We're both with the FBI.
Okay.
We just need to speak with her regarding some information that was sent in to us.
Okay. Well, she doesn't live here.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, she's my daughter, but this isn't her residence currently.
Okay. Do you mind giving us her residence or her phone number by chance?
Yeah, hold on just a second.
Sure. She's not in any trouble. We just have information that we need to ask her about.
Okay. Here. Do you mind if I take a picture of your badges?
Unfortunately, we're not allowed to have anyone take our pictures.
Can I see it again, please?
Sure.
I don't know how to tell if you guys are fakes or not.
Yeah. Well, you can always call our office too, and they can verify our employment, because it is weird. Not every day you get a knock on the door from the FBI.
No, and I'm like in a meeting upstairs, so I wasn't trying to not answer. Well, yeah, I was trying not to answer the door.
Yeah, no worries,
And I'm like, oh my gosh, whoever's at the door is being like uber persistent. Give me a minute.
Sorry.
So no, that's okay.
We can leave you our office number if you'd like to call.
Yeah, let me do that. That sounds good.
Oops, sorry. I'll write off another one.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt your meeting.
No, you're good. So, can you tell me what you said? It's in regards to.
And we would tell you all the information, because like I said, she's not in any trouble, but just out of respect for her, we'd like to speak with her first, and then
Okay.
if she feels like talking to you, which I'm sure she will, because it's nothing,
Okay.
you know, then yeah.
Alright. We're all complicated. Yeah,
There you go.
All right.
Sorry.
so yeah, FBI Washington, that's our number you can call. That's our
And what's your name?
Kathleen Brown.
Okay, tell you what, let's just stop the tape. I don't want to get in trouble with copyright infringement, so let's just go ahead and pause it there, Gabe. Let me say this: if an FBI agent shows up at your door, do not open the door unless they have a warrant. Or if you decide to open the door, do not let them in until they show you a warrant. They need to show you a reason or tell you a specific reason as to why they are visiting your home. And if they're looking for someone that doesn't live at your home, sorry, it doesn't involve me, not my problem. Guys, don't ever, listen to me carefully. Don't ever talk to an FBI agent without a lawyer present, ever. I wouldn't even want to say hi without a lawyer present. These people are corrupt as get out. They will turn your words against you. These people have a prosecution rate in the federal courts. They can get you on process crimes, which means basically they may ask you a simple question. What color is what's her name's car? Your daughter's car. She may say white, the mother. The car could be pearl white, and they could get you on a process crime for lying and lock you up. Don't say anything ever. Listen to me, people. Don't say anything ever to the FBI without your lawyer present. And don't offer any information without a subpoena. And frankly, the same is true for your local police departments, your local sheriff's office. Don't say jack squat. Guys, I watch. This is all right. This may sound a little crazy, but I just got to share this with you. I used to watch Another 48 Hours, or the first 48. I'm sorry. I mean, just incessantly. But I had to stop. I had to chill out because it was just getting to me. It would drive me nuts. But one of the things that the suspects would always do was oftentimes they would talk. And even though I would know that many of these people that they were interviewing were guilty as sin, our system is you're innocent until proven guilty. Whether you like it or not, it's the best system in the world. And so you have to go through the process. And if you're going to go through that process, you don't talk to those cops until you have a lawyer present. Even if you're guilty of sin. And I know that sounds crazy. I know there's rapists, there's murderers out there, and where we're like, now, you know what? Screw them. I mean, sometimes my mentality is, you know what I mean? Get them in the field. But listen, once they enter into that system, I got to be careful with what I say. But once you enter into that system, then you have a right to remain silent. I suggest you exercise it, or I guarantee you are going to get in more trouble than you could ever imagine. And what these ladies were trying to do, they were trying to disarm the mother. Oh, there's nothing really to worry about. She's not in any big trouble. Okay, well, if she's not in any trouble, tell me what you want. Why are you at my front door? Where's the good Lord, not the subpoena, but where's the warrant? I mean, there's no reason. She's not in any trouble. You have no reason to be knocking on my door. Plain and simple. Don't make it pleasant for them. Screw them. All right. So that's one instance. Now, a couple other headlines that I want to talk to you about. And again, the lady. Let me mention this. Elise, what is her name? Elise Ketch. She is a pro-life activist. It says here a progressive pro-life activist. So I don't know if she's a left-winger that happens to be pro-life. I'm not sure. I'd never heard of Elise Ketch before today, so I'll have to read into this a little more deeply. But apparently, she was making enough noise. There was no follow-through, according to Elise Ketch, or at least she believes. So it's really good that this stuff is getting out. So hopefully they won't come back and try to intimidate her. But these guys are intimidating factories. The FBI, the DOJ, that's what these people are so corrupt. I think they're having to cover their tracks. And with some of the stuff they did, with Russia collusion hoax, J6 and all this kind of stuff. But also these people are authoritarians. They are drunk on power. They believe that they are a fourth branch of government. There is no accountability for these people. So that's why it has to be shut down. Here's another gentleman, and forgive me, I forget his name. Who is this? This might be George. I believe this is George Hill. So anyway, we will play this audio. No, it says Mr. Friend right in front of him. All right. So anyway, he's an FBI agent, or former FBI agent, a whistleblower. I want you to hear his testimony, and then I'm going to deal with this because, guys, the FBI is no longer here to help American citizens or to solve crime. If there are good guys in the FBI, and I'm sure there are, it doesn't matter. The system is so corrupted, it has to be absolutely torn down. And honestly, there should be a gang of whistleblowers. But when you hear the abuses of what some of these guys had to endure, we don't have the audio clip. I should have got that one ready, Gabe, or sent you that one. The audio clip of one of the whistleblowers, which made major news yesterday and went viral. So why wouldn't I have that? But I don't. But anyway, one of the whistleblowers literally was reassigned. He was reassigned. He was reassigned for whatever reason. I can't recall the specific reason, but I do believe it had something to do with the J6 stuff. So he was reassigned. He was speaking up. He was an honorable guy. They told him they were going to reassign him to another state, another field office. The guy sells his house. He has, I believe, 4 daughters, a wife and 4 daughters, sells his house to report to his new locale. his new service area, his new station, if you will, his new FBI office. There we go. And they tell him when he walks in the building that he's suspended. So the guy is homeless. He and his wife and children are homeless because the FBI just decided they wanted to be evil. They wanted to be nasty. They told him to sell his home. And then as soon as he moves, oh, you're suspended. These people are evil. Nothing less than evil. All right, let's roll this video clip here. Gabe, por favor.
Typically, you would investigate January 6th as one case with lots of subjects, but instead the decision was made to open up a separate case for every single individual there, and instead of on paper investigating them from the Washington field office, spreading and disseminating those to the field offices around the country, and if the individual lived in that area. So it in effect made it look like there was domestic terrorism cases and activities that were going on around the 56 field offices, when in fact the cases were really all from Washington, D.C., and Washington field office had a task force that was responsible for calling the shots in all those cases.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, this is pretty scandalous. I mean, this is dangerous. Here's the other headline, basically. So the former FBI official tells the House Republicans that the FBI denied agents J6 riot footage to protect assets and informants that were present at the U.S. Capitol. Guys, understand that Christopher Wray, this guy was recommended to Donald Trump by Governor Chris Christie. Christopher Wray was. He's been an absolute disaster. This guy was supposed to clean in and come in and clean up the FBI. It's not going to happen, Captain. Either he's corrupt himself or he's just too weak to do the job. Whatever the answer is, he has to go bye-bye. The agency has to go bye-bye. Here's a summary from Daily Wire. A former FBI official claimed that the Bureau denied Boston field office agents access to 11,000 hours of U.S. Capitol video footage on J6 out of fear it would reveal the identities of possible undercover officers and confidential informants that were present at the riot. Members of the House Select Committee on Weaponization of the Federal Government shared video testimony during the hearing Thursday of George Hill, who worked as a supervisory intelligence analyst for the Boston field office. Hill alleged the Bureau's Washington field office, listen to this, pressured Boston agents to open investigations on 140 individuals who traveled to Washington, D.C. from Massachusetts to attend the J6 rally for President Donald Trump. Now, here's what you have to understand. Actually, let me just read this part and you'll get it. According to Hill, agents from the Washington field office told him to open 138 individual investigations based on their association with two Trump supporters who organized a bus trip transporting the group to Washington, D.C. They entered restricted areas of the nation's capital, according to the Washington field office. And the Washington field office provided pictures of the two individuals inside the Capitol, but refused to provide video evidence. Okay, so I want you to understand this. Let me break this down. 140 people. You have two people that organized a bus ride or a bus trip to Washington, D.C. for another 138 people. So that brings us to a total of 140. So they assume that the two people, or at least they say that the two people were rioters, right? And so they assume that the other 138 were rioters, or that's what they want you to believe. And so here's what the agency decided to do. The Washington field office decided to do. The Washington field office wanted to, they wanted, oh man, I lost my train of thought. I can't believe this. Oh my God. All right. So, okay. So you got 140 total people. So the Washington field office, here's what they wanted to do. They wanted to make J6 seem much bigger than it actually was. So what they would do instead of, as the gentleman testified to, what they would do instead of investigating J6 right there in Washington, D.C., one mass case with 140 people, what the agency or the Washington field office of the FBI wanted to do is they wanted this Boston office to investigate these people individually. Why would they want them to why would they want the Boston office to investigate these individuals that went to the J6 rally individually? So that they can give the appearance that the domestic terrorists were spread out all over the country. That was the goal, instead of just a few people in Washington, D.C. Now, mind you, there was no video evidence that the other 138 people were ever in the Capitol. There's no video evidence that the 2 people that were in the Capitol that organized the rally were doing anything vicious, were in an area where they shouldn't have been, except being inside of the Capitol itself. We don't know if those people barged in, which I doubted, or were led into the Capitol, which... anyway, but this is insane. Hill told the WFO that Boston agents would look into the matter based on evidence that showed the 138 other individuals were inside the Capitol building, but would refuse to open up additional cases for simply attending a political rally. So the Boston field office has said, no, man, what are you guys doing? This is a First Amendment thing. We're not going to open up individual cases for that. To which the Washington field office said, we can't show you those videos unless you can tell us the exact time and place those individuals were inside the Capitol. Huh? Why would they say that? Hill said when the Boston agents asked why they wouldn't allow access to 11,000 hours of the surveillance video that was available that they gave to Tucker Carlson, remember that? The World Field Office agent allegedly said, quote, there may be UCs, undercovers, or CHSs, confidential human sources, and we need to protect their identities. That's what the Washington field office told the Boston field office. There were UCs, there were confidential human sources working for the FBI inside the Capitol, and we need to protect their identities. Joseph Bonavolanta, the special agent in charge and Hill supervisor, confirmed his colleague's account about a WFO, asking Boston to open investigations on all 140 individuals. Christopher Wray lied, guys. He said, when asked by Representative Clay Higgins, a Republican from Louisiana, he asked Christopher Wray at the House Homeland Security Committee hearing last year if the FBI had any confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters during the Capitol riot. Wray stonewalled the guy, the direct question, and denied FBI informants were in the crowd on J6 to the extent that there's a suggestion, for example, Wray said that the FBI's confidential human sources or FBI employees in some way instigated or orchestrated January 6th. That's categorically false. He just lied. And then a spokesperson for the FBI doubled down with the Daily Wire, saying the Bureau's mission is to uphold the Constitution and protect the American people, quote unquote. They went on to say the FBI has not and will not retaliate against individuals who make protected whistleblower disclosures. Guys, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the congresswoman from southern Florida here, from South Florida here, in that hearing yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, with the House Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government, she was questioning the whistleblowers and basically saying, hey, they're not whistleblowers, telling Jim Jordan they're not whistleblowers. They're not whistleblowers. Why? So they wouldn't get whistleblower protection, so they could be intimidated. These people need to be brought down to size. They wanted the appearance of white supremacists or domestic terrorists that support Donald Trump all across the country. So they wanted their issue, their narrative that Donald Trump is supported by white supremacists. They wanted this narrative that they're all across the United States. These are really sick puppies. These are the people that are supposed to be, making the most ethical, the best of us. And they're not. They're the most corrupt. It has to be torn down. Here's another story from Just the News. Alarm grows over whistleblower claims that the FBI scooped up American bank records without a subpoena. Now, before I get to that, guys, I do want to make mention of my sponsor for today, MyPillow.com. Thank you, Mike Lindell, and his support of this podcast. Guys, support MyPillow. Support Mike Lindell. You guys may have heard, I remember hearing it on Dr. Sebastian Gorka's show when he did an interview with Mike Lindell where the FBI literally trapped the guy inside of some fast food like driveway. Unbelievable, man. These people are scandalous. I'm sorry. But anyway, listen, Mike Lindell has created fabulous, American jobs, American manufacturing. The latest product is the new My Pillow 2.0. So just when you thought the My Pillow couldn't get any better, it has. It has the same adjustable patented feel as the original My Pillow, but it now has a temperature regulating thread on the outside that makes it softer, smoother, and cooler. So you get an even better night's rest. All you have to do is go to mypillow.com, click on that radio listener square, enter my name, Carl, C-A-R-L, and you will get their buy one, get one free offer. And by the way, there's other things. You can peruse the website. You use my name, Carl, put it in the promo code at the top of the page. There's deals up to 66% off. All of the products come with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. But take advantage of that buy one, get one free offer for the new My Pillow 2.0. Or for those of you that prefer to call, 800-858-0263 is the number. 800-858-0263. Tell them Carl sent you. Okay, so this is the last headline that I want to touch on. So the alarm grows over whistleblower claims that the FBI scooped up Americans' bank records without a subpoena. So legal experts are now criticizing the FBI for allegedly obtaining the financial records of U.S. customers with Bank of America, quote, without any legal process, close quote, following the J6 Capitol riot. They spoke Thursday, hours after several FBI whistleblowers made the allegations in testimony before the House Judiciary Select Committee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government. The allegations about subpoena-less bank records gathering were included in a staff report for the full GOP-led House Judiciary Committee, and it was released about an hour ahead of Thursday's hearing. And who said this? Here's a quote from the report itself. Just like FBI whistleblowers, retired FBI supervisory intelligence analyst George Hill provided the committee with detailed allegations of FBI civil liberty abuses. Specifically, he testified that following the events at the Capitol on J6, Bank of America gave the FBI's Washington field office a list of individuals who made transactions in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area with B of A credit or debit card between January 5 and January 2021. He also testified that individuals who had previously purchased a firearm with B of A product were elevated to top of the list provided by B of A, close quote. Don't bank with Bank of America and use cash. If you ever go to any type of political event, I'm going to suggest you use cash. Don't use your cell phones there. I mean, quite frankly, I forget the feature that you need to turn off. You might know it, Gabe, that you need to turn off. Honestly, I don't, these people are so corrupt. I wouldn't doubt that if you show up at a Trump rally leading up to the 2024 elections, these people will try to find some fault in you and put you in jail. I mean, this is absolutely disgusting. You're subpoena. Well, you didn't even subpoena people's bank records. You work with Bank of America to take people's personal information without a subpoena. These people think they are more powerful than the president, more powerful than Congress, except they're working in cahoots with the president. Brett Tolman, he's a former U.S. attorney for the District of Utah from July 2006 to December 29, argues obviously that obtaining the bank records without due process was unconstitutional. He said it's illegal. It doesn't strike me as odd, and the reason it doesn't is I represented a couple of J6 defendants, and I began to be very concerned. He suggested the FBI used the data to learn that one of his clients was in Washington, D.C. at the time, though his client was never charged. He said it would have been very difficult to determine that he was there in Washington, D.C. without some illegal measure by the FBI. They don't believe it's illegal, close quote. These people have no moral standards. Alan Dershowitz, you guys know him, Democrat, law professor, emeritus at Harvard University, agreed that the whistleblower's allegations were concerning. He said, and I quote, "There's a great danger to freedom." In an interview with Just the News, Not Noise, the TV program, He said banks should not be turning records, private records over. The next things, doctors will be turning over private records, and priests and rabbis. You just can't start violating people's privacy without a court order. It's so easy today to get a subpoena, a court order, close quote. He also said courts don't really look behind a government request, but quote, but to go out without even a court order and just willy-nilly get records, and the bank being complicit in that, I have to tell you, I take the money out right away. Yeah, if you bank it, Bank of America, get the heck up out of there. Get the heck up out of there and put it in the bank that promises me that it wouldn't turn over my records without a court order, he says, close quote. And again, you go to these places, you go to any rallies, man, use cash to the best of your ability. Use cash. Former California GOP Representative Devin Nunes, he's now I believe he's the CEO of True Social. But he argued that the Biden administration hadn't learned a thing since the Russia probe. Guys, they're corrupt as heck. I don't even know why, I love Devin Nunes. I don't even know why he would say that. Of course, they haven't learned a thing because they have no intention to. And I'm sure he didn't mean it that way because he knows better. He says not only have they not learned anything, they have put what they're doing on steroids. They're stepping on the gas. They're not stopping with the weaponization of the FBI and the DOJ and every other damn government agencies they can get their hands on. He's absolutely right there. They're stepping on the gas. Guys, the FBI needs to be torn down brick by brick. They shouldn't be getting a new building. They shouldn't even be in the old building. Defund the FBI. These people need to be brought down to size. This agency cannot exist. It cannot. We cannot go on like this. I'm sorry. They have become too dangerous. They have become too corrupted. They have become too powerful. And you got a bunch of woke people filling these positions. There is an article that was written by, let me see if I can find it now, by, was it Chris Farrell of Judicial Watch? And he states specifically how to take them down. Let me see. Oh, man. Basically, what you would do is you would essentially fire everybody. You would just dismantle the agency. And then anybody that wanted to be rehired, they could go into the U.S. Marshal Service, but they would have to undergo extreme vetting where you would just weed people out. So that's where they would end up. But he said it is possible to do. I'm trying to look for his exact words. And of course, I don't. Here it is. The FBI needs to go away. It should happen in an orderly and thoughtful process over a period of months. Congress should authorize and create an investigative division in the U.S. Marshals Service and open applications for law enforcement officers seeking to be rigorously screened, vetted, and then access into the new organization. Similar action was taken before in the very creation of the FBI. It is now time to clean house and restore the public's trust in the premier investigative agency of federal law enforcement. So you have to you have to totally dismantle it. And the ones that are worthy of being rehired, they have to go through a very vigorous vetting, process. And you got to strip these people's power away. You got to make sure that Congress has total. There's accountability from Congress over these. I know it's a part of the executive branch. There's got to be some type of accountability. This stuff is just insane. But totally dismantle them, and then any of them that appear to be good, you can have them go through a vetting process to become a part of an investigative body of the U.S. Marshal Service. If they suck, kick them to the curb. Simple as that. It's time to dismantle the FBI. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in to this edition of the Carl Jackson Show podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast wherever you go to get your podcast. I will be on the Officer Tatum's show, sitting in for him later today. I hope you will catch me there. Again, Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble. Find me on social media at The Carl Jackson Show, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Until next time, don't grow weary doing good. Hey, and don't forget, the FBI, local police, I don't care. They show up at your front door. You don't say anything without a warrant. You don't say anything without an attorney. Just shut your pie hole. And they will try to lead you. Listen to me. If they're not asking questions, they'll do like these girls did. Soft-spoken. Try to disarm you. You know what I mean? Just make you feel, oh, okay, there's nothing to worry about. No. No. Never trust that. They have tactics, all right? These people are trained, all right? They use tactics. Just shut your pie hole. Don't say anything, ever. I don't care if you're arrested. Don't say anything, ever, to the FBI or to the cops without your attorney present, period. All right, guys, until next time, don't grow weary doing good. God bless you.